Hey everybody, how you doing? Do you think Rugman has arrived today? Welcome to the final hour of trading today. It's your buddy Uncle Bruce here. We're watching the Dow here and the S&P and Nasdaq on Tuesday, March the 7th, 2023. Powell spoke today. We're watching Powell spoke today, said what he had to say. The market maybe believes them a little bit. We're going to raise rates higher if we have to. We will anyway, and we'll raise them even more if we have to get inflation down. We're not kidding about that. We'll keep them up longer before we even think of reducing interest rates. All of that is not what the hopeful market gamblers were looking for, and we got some selling coming in. We're down 573 now on the Dow Jones. We're near the low of the day. This is within a few points. S&P 500 is off 64.7 and NASDAQ 152 points lower. The big loser is the Dow, 1.7%, S&P, but right with it, 1.6, and NASDAQ 1.3% lower. Oil is taking a hit today, $3.07 a barrel lower now in Texas, 77.39. And this brings us back to where we were really last week, Thursday, kind of Friday thing. We reached into that 80 level for a moment or two and maybe a day, and now we're right back here to 77.39. Interesting. As far as some of our favorite stocks go, GameStop, $18.19 at the moment. The low of our session today is 18.15, and that was this morning, just after 10 o'clock. We bounced back from that low level over several hours to almost break even on the day, just around, short of 1 o'clock, I guess. At 12.51, we got to 18.60. Now we've come back down to 18.18, and we're drifting along here without too much conviction. Volume is very, very light, 1.48 million. And if you divide that number by 4, you know that we're not even at 375,000 pre-split volume. It is very quiet. So the stock is lower, not because something GameStop is doing wrong. It's lower because the market is lower. It's just getting sucked down. Now, you out there who are option writers, those of you who have written 3, 4, 5, 6 month calls at 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, you have got to be grinning from ear to ear and have seen depreciation and deterioration of premiums. And I say, way to go. There's no real urgency to get in because there's no need for the stock to go to $22 tomorrow. Nothing's going to break somewhere that's going to make this happen. The shares could go lower. They're reluctantly slipping, but contracts do not have, you don't have an upside problem. Let's put it that way. And those of you buying deep in the money calls, you wait for your price to come to you and then you make your move. So there you are, 18.19 on GameStop. SoFi down 16 cents at 6.52. Low today was what? Wait for my machine to bring it back up again. Phone is very spotty this afternoon yet again. The low today, 6.23, it looks like, was the low of our session today. Volume of 13.9 million, very quiet. So again, this is not a SoFi problem. This is a market reaction. Again, overall disappointment or lack of enthusiasm from Powell, which is kind of what he's looking for. Believe me, it's what he's looking for. 650 last trade, low of 623, 13.9 million traded. All right. Tesla, 189.56. We really haven't had a bad day here on Tesla. This really hasn't had this stock has not had a terrible, terrible session at all. The price now 189.56, down 425, and the low of 186, and that was this morning, just around 10 o'clock. We touched that. Then it went for its little jaunt, reaching a high of 194, just around 12 to 1 o'clock today. And since 194, at that point, it's been a side of a mountain, just coming down and down and down and down and down, and now down to 186 or 189, pardon me. So about $4 drop so far. Okay, that's Tesla. Apple 151.36, down $2.46. Low of the day range right here. Yep, looks like it. Apple still above the 150 mark. There's mixed news out on Apple nowadays. People will be watching closely the Apple iPhone sales and Mac sales when the first quarter is released, but that's still a ways down the road. But 151.29 for the 52 weeks now, since last year, March to now, the high 179 and the low 124. And we're at 151, kind of in the middle of it, aren't we? 25.6 times earnings. And if you can afford Apple calls, if you can get deep in the money calls on Apple, then you're right on them. If you can't, if they're too outrageously priced, then you buy the stock and write on the stock. If you are of that ilk, are you of that ilk? I don't know. What does ilk mean anyway? I don't know. It just sounds cool. 151.36. I'm just looking up now on my big ass iPad options for Apple. I'm kind of curious if anyone is out there looking to buy deep in the money calls, would you be able to get any at a decent price? That's what I want to know. Contracts go out to January 2025, June 2025, December 2025. I mean, they go out there. I want to take a look at January 2025 because in my mind, I know a lot of you guys are buying GameStop Jan 2025, $10 GameStop. So I'm just thinking in the same timing here. Let's take a look here. January 2025 Apple contracts with the stock at 151.37. If you were trying to buy a $100 call, you'd have to pay on the bid side $63.40. The most that you would pay for this contract would be what's that? It's 51 in the money. You'd pay 51 plus 510, $56, $57 max. It's offered as asking is 63, so it's too much money. Buying a 90 is 61 in the money. You'd pay $67, maybe 61 plus 10%. And it's 71 on the bid. The 80s are 70 in the money, 71 in the money. So 78 would be the price. It's 87 bid. None of these are able to be purchased in the 90-10 rule at this point in time. Now, just for poops and scoops, as we like to say, for poops and scoops, let's look at June 2025's. The 100s, which are, again, 51 in the money, you'd pay $56, $57. They're 65 bid. The 90s are 72 bid, and the most you'd pay for those are $66, $67. The 80s, you'd pay about $77. They're 80 bid. That's actually close, within $3. 70s are 81 in the money, and you'd pay about $89. They're 87 on the bid. Those you buy. So if you can afford a $70 in the money call for Apple, with a price of $87.75, that's the bid. The ask is 90, but you'd put in an 87, 80 bid or something like that. See if you get hit. That would be in the 90-10 rule. That would be in the 90-10 rule. Trying to buy a 110, which is only worth $41, you'd pay a maximum of 45. It's at $58. Not going to get it. You're not going to get the 120s at the right price. These are too expensive. Just saying. That's June 2025. One last shot here, December 2025, going way out to the end of the chain. What would these cost, you ask, I ask? The 100s are worth, as we said, $51. You'd pay about $58. They're bid $68. The 90s, you would pay $66, $67. They're 70 bid. That's not bad. Sorry, 90s are 74. Sorry, I'm not 70. 80s, which are now 71 in the money, would be $78. They're 80, 90. They're very close. Like the $80 call for Apple, December 19th, expiry 2025. Out of the 90-10 rule by just a little, but for the amount of time you're getting, might be a way to go. The 70s, out of pure curiosity, yeah, they're at the 70s are 88.95 bid, and you would pay about $88, $89. That is right at the number. So they're actually out there, but they're expensive. They're not $30, $40 each. They're $80, $90. So you'd have to cough up money. Having done and said that, if I were to come back now and say, suppose I paid 80 something dollars for a call, what would I write on an Apple call? Which one would I write now? Taking a look for maximum premiums within a reasonable amount of time, nothing too short, nothing too long. Maybe looking at May contracts, if you could write the Apple stocks 150, 137, if you wrote May 155s, you'd have a 645 to 650 bid ask, very nice and tight spread. The 60s are 430 to 435. Not those are nice premiums, but they're not incredibly great. June, writing 155s, $8, and for 160s, 570, 75. That is that's appealing, more money. Keeping in mind that if you're paying about $80 for a contract and getting here, you're getting 10% of your contract price back. July 21 expiry, the 155s are about 955, 65, and the 160s are 720, 25. So out of the money at 160, $9. If you wrote the 160s, you'd be getting 720, 725. You're selling for 167.75, or you're offering your stock for 167 for a 151 purchase price on the stock, or turn it around. You would be paid 160 on the stock plus 720 on the contract, 167, and you bought an 80 something dollar call to do that. So it's a $17 gain overall on a 80 something dollar contract. So it's over 20%, which for Apple, very good. It's top-notch company here. Love the fact that these contracts have 5-cent spreads, even 3, 4, 5 months out. I like that. So interesting. All right. Well, just thoughts, overall look-see to kind of, this is how my brain works when I look at contracts. What kind of in-the-money contract would I get, how to calculate its value quickly, if that's a good price or not to pay for a deep-in-the-money call, then look at the other side to write against it. Price of the about what can I get for the contract, the strike price, how long, and factoring it all together. That's it. Okay. Apple 151.26 down 257 today. Unity Software today down $1.03, 29.02 right now. HBQ is down 74 cents to 27.56. ATIP is at 32.5 cents. Nothing going on here. Down 1.3 pennies today on 71,000 shares. We have nothing to speak of there. Google is down 157 to 94.01. Moderna at 245. We're lower by 245 to 141.58. Over at Cisco, down 67 cents. $48.74. When you can get Cisco for under 50, between 45 50, you're getting value. You're buying. You're not overpaying for this company at all. Now, can you buy deep in the money calls on Cisco like 35s, 36s, 37s, 38s, about $10 below, a good 20% to 25% below the price of the stock right now is where you want to be if you're going to do it. The stock's at 17.8 times earnings. It's not ridiculously priced, but grabbing a 38 in the money call or a 36, you got to check your option chains to see if they're available at the right ratio. You're now paying like 12. You're now committing at a 12 times PE multiple. I mean, if 18 multiple is where we are now, and you're paying a good chunk less than that, you're paying more like 13 times PE. If the stock were to trade down to 38 or 36 is what I'm getting at. And for that to happen, we'd have to have some really bad numbers. Anyway, you can write on these, but you got to do the math. Is it worth your while? Pfizer down 72 today, almost 2%, 40.39. IBM down just 177 at $128. Microsoft 253 down 299. 23andMe right now off 3 cents. Matterport is off 8 cents. Cyxtera is down 2. Rocket Lab is down 2. Smart Rent is down 19 today, taking a little hit. Spire is down 2 cents. BBBY, Bed Bath Beyond, down 3.5. Amazon down 13 cents. That's all. 13 cents on Amazon. Home Depot down 6.45. The Dow down 5.39. S&P down 61. Nasdaq down 147. With all that carnage, Amazon's down 13 cents. That's an interesting thing to observe, I guess. I just wanted to check one thing quickly. Tomorrow is Smart Rent. Tomorrow is Smart Rent earnings day. And so what's going to happen on Smart? It's down 20 cents today, and tomorrow is earnings day. I don't like that. I'd rather it were up 20 cents today, and tomorrow they're reporting their earnings. I'm of that ilk. If there was an ilk, I'm of that. We're near the low of the day here on the session here on Smart Rent today. Okay. Headline. Here's a headline. Most Americans are confident about keeping their jobs for now, and tenants say background checks, application fees, consumer report inaccuracies, and eviction records are holding them back. That's interesting. Very interesting. Here we are. Smart Rent volume today. It looks like only 96,000 shares. Like, really, that's unusually light for Smart Rent. Strange. 262 is what I show it at right now. No, I'm sorry. My phone had a hiccup. Here we go. 716,000 volume on Smart Rent today. Not 96. 261 is the low. We're at 263, down 20 cents today. There you go. Okay, that's it on Smart Rent. Sorry about that, folks, but my phone just doesn't want me to have a good day. It just doesn't want me to do that. All right, 526 is the down dip at the moment. That's where we are. You got to wonder how many landlords shoo away really good potential tenants because of maybe a tenant was a student, 8 years ago, and they were behind in rent for a while, and eventually they caught up, and it got caught on a record somehow, and it just won't go off the credit report or something, and now here they are with a decent job. They pay their bills on time. They're responsible. They're in their early 30s now. Hardly a risk, and they can't get an apartment. Makes you wonder: is it right? Is it fair? Is it reasonable? I don't know. Sometimes, I guess there's a lot to be said if the individual can meet the landlord face to face. You can have a chat, a coffee about, here's what I did in my last 10 years, and here's how I got here. Like Larry King, how did you get here? Maybe if people could answer that question face to face, it wouldn't be so complicated. I don't know. I just don't know. Anyway, welcome everybody to the show here. We got 42 minutes to go, and thank you for being here. Brian is saying I'm number 17. I might finally be able to watch a show live. Kid has been sick and very needy. She's only 2, so they need all the attention when they're sick. There you go. That's true. I watched the Powell hearing, says Coyote. My brain is numb. Why would you do that to yourself? I don't understand. Anyway, yeah. Yikes. What else? Our furnace man is here, by the way. Ooh, this is exciting. They were up on the roof here, and they've been walking around. Furnace went off last night. Yeah. Maybe something is working now. I don't know. What else going on here? Cindy, I bought back my Tesla $170. I sold a covered call. I bought it back. I'm waiting for a pop right now. 189.92 down 389. Brian is saying, Uncle Bruce, I have a GameStop May 2023 1750 strike covered call that I sold. It is at about 50% right now, and with this nice little dip. Do you think I should roll over? I notice in the past I tend to get impatient and I try to roll. So you're 75 cents out of the money. So obviously this contract has lost a lot of book value in the last little while, from the to low 20s to here. So it's really getting eaten up. Every penny is another penny lost in book value. There are 74 to go, or something of that nature, or 49 to go, whatever it means. 74 cents to go. Yeah. Yeah. No rush here. The only way I would roll this is if you could move into a June or July contract and get more money. You want to raise. That's it. You want to pay me to make it worth my while to shift from where I am to something else. That's the name of the game here. And without that, you don't have to do anything. Now, what I don't know, Brian, is what you sold it for and what's it trading at, because is it sitting at is it sitting at well, hang on a second. I'll tell you. I'll take a look here and see what it's sitting at. I just punched in GameStop on my big ass iPad. Yeah. Let's take a look here on options. You said you did the which one did you do? May 2023. Okay, let me take a look. At least I can see what's trading at here. May 2023 GameStop, the 1750 strike. It's 264 bid, 290 offered as of 10 minutes ago on my device. Fair enough. It's down 40 cents last trade, which was 275. So it was 315 either this last night's close, I guess, or the last time I traded. So it's now 275 with a 264 bid, and it's still falling. And if you're up about half, you wrote it at almost $5. Way to go. That was a nice move. There's another, and there's easily another 75 cents downside here to the 170 range, 180 range, certainly. There might be enough downside to the 150 range, but the only way I would shift out of this one is if I can shift into another one for a nice payoff. Now, you said you had Mays. Let's take a look at, just for the heck of it, let's go 2 months up to July, okay? What can you get? Like, how much more can you get if you go to July? If you wrote an 18, which is 50 cents higher in strike, it's a 325, 365 market. If you could get 360 for it, you'd add about 75, 80 cents in cash on what you have now. Assuming you could buy yours back for 265 now, and you could sell these for 3 or 285, 365, something like that. The 19s, you'd be lucky to get 320, 25, but that wouldn't be a bad hit. If you went another month to August, where could you go in strike? The 1875 is offered at 360, and that's a financial gain and a 125 strike gain. That's cool. And September's right now, 19s you could write, which would get you about almost three. Last trade was 390. It's 340, 390 bid ask. So if you're offering at 385, if you could get 385 and buy back these for this 260 something, that's a 130 gain in dollars with a 150 gain in premium, which means obviously you've written an out of the money call, and the lower the stock goes from here, the further out of the money the contract gets, and the more the depreciation will kick in. Time is also your weapon. But right now, you actually don't have to do anything. You could actually just sit back and go, I want another 75 cents depreciation. I don't know how many you've written on these, but hopefully a ton. And the money's there. Alberto says, bingo. Robert Benson, number 40, thumbs up. Manager, Uncle Bruce, low on SoFi today was 642. Where did you see 623? Well, my phone was telling me something. My phone says 623. Maybe it was 623.9. I don't know. It's just my phone, Manager. Nothing. I'm not trying to be sneaky or anything. It's just my telephone, and it's crap. I mean, it's not my phone that's crap. It's the Yahoo Finance phone app. That's all. Nothing personal. Brian, I'm trying to get as much money as I can for these as you advise. I think I should wait till at least 1 month out before I start looking to roll. Your thoughts? Again, you're you have time as your friend. There's 190 time premium on this contract. So you can get half of that. You can get 85 cents of that easily by just waiting it out. And if that puts you at 65, 70% profit, and you're happy with that, great. If you write a call that's closer to $4, it's got a bit of a higher strike price to it. A few months further out, there's possible depreciation of $2 to $3 there, and you're just shifting escalators, right, on the way down, just trying to run it further. Up to you when you want to switch and make the move. You can't make a wrong decision right now. Actually, you're a winner either way. Wait or move. You're a winner. And I love it when my viewers are in that position. I really do. 1818 is where the stock is. The low of the day looks like it's been 1815 today. We're just about there now. We're down 531 on the Dow Jones, down 57 on S&P, and 137 on Nasdaq. All right, Matt, with interest rates high and around $1 billion in cash, can a company like GameStop just make profit in interest? Yeah, they probably are making more money on their money now than they've ever made. If they're rolling into short-term GIC or short-term treasuries, yeah, I guess. Maybe GameStop should buy a bunch of its own deep in the money calls and write covered calls on its in the money calls. Maybe GameStop should do that with its own money. They could make a killing. I don't know. Home Skillet number 41. Brian, Matt, I think Oprah has said with GameStop's cash on hand, they could last at least 3 years without doing anything. Yeah, they are. I think they're losing. Is it $100 million a year? So they got like 10 years of money or something. Whatever that is. It's just a flippant little comment. Bobby Atkinson, Uncle Bruce, what is your suggestion on rolling down HPQ August $30 strikes? What are your thoughts? Well, my hope is that you've got a very healthy profit there. He says wrote 3, I'm assuming for 320. I'm assuming that's what you did. So these are August 30 HPQs. Well, let's take a look. Let's take a look at what you should do with these HPQs. Let's see what we got here. HPQ. Oops. HPQ. Hit it. And there's HPQ right there. 27.50 last trade, down 81 centinos. And we'll head for the option chain. And you said you've written August 30s. Okay, so let's take a look at August 30s. Here we go. So the August 30s are now at 132 to 138. And you wrote them at 320. Nice. Really nice. There's a nice little gain there. So what can you do to enhance performance from here? One, you don't have to do anything at the moment, because if the stock goes lower, the calls will go lower. Obviously, as time goes by, this 132 will evaporate into thin air. I mean, you have at the moment from now till August 18, which is a stretch. That's April, May, June, July, August. That's 5 months. You have $1.32 in about 100 and we'll say 100 trading days. Okay. If you go further out, you have to go to January 2024. That's the next step. Unless you come in, and let's do that first. Let's take a look at June 2023 contracts. You could write, in theory, a $28 June 16 call and receive almost 175. It's 171 to 177. That would get you 40 cents more, roughly, and you'd be $2 lower in strike, but you'd be closer in by 60 days. You'd be expiring June 16. So this is March, so it's April, May, June. So 60 trading days, give or take. You'll know the number before expiry, and 171 out of the money depreciation. If you go to May, can you go May? Yeah, you could do a lateral move. You could do a lateral dollar move where you go from a $1.30 contract to a $1.30 $28 contract. So $2 closer in strike, but a May 19 expiry. So that's 40 trading days, give or take, 43, 44 trading days to expiry for the same amount of money. So there's no financial gain, but the option dies sooner. Not really worth your while. If you want to get more money, you're going to have to write 27s. And do you want to write a 27 that's in the money for $1.93? I don't think so. So going forward to June again, I'll go back. The 28s are 175, 177. The 27s are 230-ish. If you go out to, you're in August now, and here's the other option. You're in August now, and your 30s are 132 to 138. All right. You could write the $28 contract for August and just come in $2 and get about almost 90 cents more, maybe 226. I'd offer them at 226. And if you could buy yours back at 133 and write these others at 226, there's 90 cent something gain for you on these contracts, still August's, but closer to the money. That's something you could look at. The 29s, which is $1 closer, will give you $1.75, $1.78, about a 40-cent gain, give or take. Would you don't get rich on it, but it's more money for the same time frame. Now, if we go out to just for the hell of it, January 2024, if you wrote the 30s for January 2024, you would go from 130 to 230. You'd get $1 more to go all the way to January. It's not worth your while. If you were to write 27s, however, which are 50 cents in the money, they are going at 370 to 385. So if you scored 380, 50 cents is book value. The rest is time, right? But it's January. So I like the idea of coming in more than going out. That's all right. Now, the lower the stock goes, today it's down 81 cents, okay? If it wants to continue to go lower than this, and it wants to reach this, 26.75 range, you're going to have 325 out of the monies. You can definitely move to 28s for August, or you can move to 28s or 27s to June or May. You could definitely look to do that for sure. The lower the stock goes, obviously you're going to be talking about a buyback of 95 cents to $1. And now you have a lot of contracts you can write for more than that in cash with a lot of strike possibility. So the lower this stock goes and the further you're out of the money, the more rollover scenarios come your way. And the other thing is, when you reach 90 cents or so and you still have 100 days to go, you want to be moving. You want to move on because your premiums have run out. You're down to a penny a day on 90, 100 trading days. Time to move on to something that gives you 3 pennies of depreciation, or 2.5 pennies, or whatever combination. Much less time to be exposed on a contract, earlier expiry, faster depreciation. All right. Hope that helps. Okay. By the way, I saw it, but I didn't mention it. But I'm going to mention it now because I will forget. Alberto made a donation to me on PayPal. Thank you, my friend. That is very generous. Thank you. And I love it when you make lots of money. I keep making lots of money. Don't stop now. All right. Okay, let's go. Thank you, my friend. What else is going on here? Sell my house. I'm number 58. Thumbs up. John's touchpad. I'm 62. Golf mom, hi there. Golf mom, hi there. Beautiful day out here on the golf course. The kid shot a 2-under from the tips. I bought back 10 calls today. Easy $500 in 3 days. Thank you, B. That will cover the entry fee for the next tournament. That's great. Yes. Congratulations and well done. I love the sound of that. Okay, Brian, GameStop has been 10 days in a row with a really short volume, less 70%. So every day for the past 10 days, 7 out of every 10 shares traded were shorted. And look at the low S volume. Look at that. Mirko, Brian, where do you see that? A manager, Uncle Bruce, I bought 20 poor man covered calls on Unity for $18.30. I got these 12.5 strikes. So I've invested $37,400. And then I wrote 20 calls, August 18 expiry for 2023, $30 strikes. Okay. The stock's $29.20 right now. And I got 630 premium collected, $12,600. And covered when option drops by half and then write again. Is that a good trade? This is a great trade. This is a fabulous trade. You're writing an out of the money contract that has no value. You're getting $6.30 cash, and you bought a 1250s in the money call that is 90% book value. That's a great move. Yeah, I think that's what we got. Am I correct on that? Yeah, says 1750. Yeah, that's right. 90-10 rule observed on the purchase of the deep in the money call. A 630 premium collected on a $18 contract paid. A third of your money right back. That's really, really juicy. Yeah, way to go. Way to go. Yeah, and you don't have to care if the stock stays here, goes to 27 or 28. You don't have to care about that. And you also don't have to care if it goes to 30, 31, or 32. I mean, you got like a $4 window where you don't have to worry about anything because the premium received, the deep in the money calls you got, you're going to win on an up move, you're going to win on a down move, and you're going to win on a nothing. So yes, nice going. That's quite all right. Whether you folks do one of these, you buy one of these calls, write one call, or buy two calls and write two calls, or like manager here, like Nick in Blythe, pick up 20 and write 20. Boom, baby. Money to be had. Nice. Gowdy, the stories I could share about attempting to find homes to rent, I could rant for hours. Constantine, number 68. Thank you, Uncle Bruce. Thank you, guys. Appreciate you all being here already. Managers, the 1250s are till 24 or 25. They can be 24 or 25. I suspect you bought the 24s, and that's a good price if you got them. And you're in good shape here. All right, Constantine, Uncle Bruce, I sold July GameStop $23 call at $295. It's $195 now. Should I take the profit roll down? Just keep my arms folded for now. So you've got a July 23, and the shares of GameStop right now are $18.17. So they're worthless. These calls are, obviously. You're at $195 now. You've made $1. They will continue to deteriorate with time, but this is again March, right? March 7th. So April, May, June, July. We have 4 months at least at 20 trading days a month. That's 80 days at least of life left in these contracts. So they're going to depreciate at a rate of 2-something cents a day on average, right? Because they're $1.95 at the moment. So you actually have the opportunity to do nothing and let them go to $1 if you want to do that. Or if you can find a better contract to write, then you look at that. Now, can you write a May GameStop contract for more than $1.95 premium, but not in the money, still out of the money? There's the question. And if you can do that, maybe it's worth a look. Let's take a look here. May 2023 calls for GameStop. Just my curiosity right now. So you've written the 23. Yeah, you'd have to write an 1875 to get 220 to 227. Not worth it. To gain 30 cents and lose all that premium. No. You want to be out of the money the way you are. Certainly. You're not going to write 20s, and so forget that for May. June 2023s, since you've written July's, June 23s to come in a bit. You could write for more money. You could write 21s would be about the same. 20s will get you about 30 cents more. Writing a 19 would get you 60, 70 cents more, maybe 265, 268, 269. Not a major urgency. If in the next week or day after tomorrow, if GameStop goes to 1750 and your calls reach 160, 155, something like that, they'd likely drop another 35, 40 cents. Then you might be in a position to look at June contracts, and you might be able to go for June 20s that might be like, or June 19s that might be like 240, and you're buying back for $1.50, and you can gain 90 cents and shrink your time range from July to June, maybe back to May. To get to May, you're going to need more. You need more shrinkage here to write 1875s. you want to buy your calls back for like $1.30 and write theirs for like $2.10 or $2. You want to get 70, 80 cents to kind of, but it's 60 days closer. So thoughts, you can't do wrong, Constantine. You're in a power position, which is what option writers usually are. If you write the right contract and you go far enough out, and then you get the shrinkage, you've already had shrinkage because of the price movement of the stock. That made you a winner there on this trade. Now the clock is grinding, is finishing off the option buyer. I mean, that's what's happening. You're just sitting back looking at this going, those poor buggers. They bought my calls for all this money and now they're getting crushed. And every day it's worse. Good position to be in. Now, if only you'd written 200 of these, you'd be looking every penny going, this is great. I like this. Maybe one day, soon. Albert, don't pay attention to the values. Just submit offers. One will stick. Coyote, he said. Ricardo, ATIP 3/8/2023. Are you thinking about talking to them after earnings? I'm going to consider that. But I also have to be mindful that there's a court date coming up that they're also part of. And I'm not sure if they're in a position to talk quickly after, but we'll see what they say. Alberto, number 71. Are they after the bell? I don't think so. I didn't think so. Alberto, take Auntie Jen out to dinner on me. I gotta go. Thanks, Uncle, for all you do. Thank you, Alberto, for that very generous donation today. I appreciate it, my friend. Nice dinner. That's a nice dinner. And let's see what else. Gowdy was saying here to Alberto, I didn't mean buying the homes to rent them out. I meant to live in as a renter. It was 2021, early 2022, and the landlords were just being outrageous. Brian, Uncle Bruce, thanks for looking at my trade. Sorry, I forgot to say I sold it for $5.10. Just had lots to say and only 200 characters. I think it'll fold my arms. Yeah, you're doing great. Mirko, Jan 24 says the manager to Mirko for some date. What was that be? Not sure. The contracts, those in the monies right on. All right, Alberto, Coyote, gotcha. I've looked into the tax foreclosures and auction down in LA, and they're giving the properties away. Matt, can't wait to hear what ATIP board has to say. The only press release they have on months is that they assigned someone chief growth officer. Don't think he's doing his job all well. Nick, Matthew, ATIP might be today, but there's been no announcement of an earnings date. Mirko, manager, figured out that the 2025s weren't that low. I'm writing against those, but I think your move was very good today. Mirko, let's see what Uncle Bruce has to say, laughing out loud. Matthew, thank you. Nick, DQ, I'm number 73, Bruce, on your thumbs up meter. Bobby says, thank you. Thank you, everybody. Kind of ridiculous, says Home Skillet. ATIP fourth quarter earnings release date is a mystery in March, no less. I know, it's crazy. 76 thumbs up from Marcus. Thank you. Man, have you seen which ATIP? You've spoken to them about an interview? I'm going to be. I've been leaving them alone until after earnings. Susan Shop's about 81st thumbs ups. Right on. Constantine, thank you. Uncle Bruce, thank you. Matt, they should be able to talk about lots, maybe not specific on listing stuff, but give some idea what's going on at the company. And Drew says, I am the 83rd thumbs up, and I'm continuing to fold my arms here. And we see now 85 thumbs ups in the show. Thank you all very much for 85 thumbs ups. Keep coming. We now are on the session with a Dow Jones average off 521 points. That's been kind of consistent. We are maybe a tad better than the worst of the day, but not by a lot. We're down 55 on S&P and 130 on NASDAQ. We do have 17 minutes left in the session. Oil has dropped off $3 a barrel today to 77.46. So we've had some hits there. And we see GameStop at 18.18, down 47 cents. SoFi at 6.53, down 15. Tesla's at 189.03, down 478. Apple is down 241, 151.42. Unity down $1.08 at 29.17. HPQ 71-cent drop today to 27.60. ATIP is off 1.3 cents at 32.5. Google down 158 to $94, and Moderna down 252 to 141.51. Cisco is down 59 cents at 48.83. Pfizer off 65 cents to 40.46. IBM is down 176, 179 to 128.40. Microsoft 254.07 down 280. ME, the 23andMe, is off 3.5 cents. Matterport is down 6.5. Sixterra down 3.5. Rocket Lab down 3.5. Smart Rent down 21.5. Earnings tomorrow. Spire down 3 cents at 98 cents, and Bed Bath Beyond down 4.5 to 134.5. Amazon is off 25 cents. Home Depot is down 6.85. Netflix down 2.89. Vanik is down 2.57. Adobe down 2.43. Goldman having a tough one here, down 11.07 today, 345.98. Boeing down 363 to 208.28. Meta still green, but only at 32 cents on the upside now at 185. It is backed off. The AMC are down 23 cents, and the APE shares are up a half a penny, 602 versus 175.5. Royal Caribbean down 65 cents at 73.51. Carvana down 13. Robinhood down 26. BlackBerry down 48.5 cents at 350. We've got Target down 193, JP Morgan down 396, Costco is up 267, had been higher. Walmart down 139, Disney down 152 to 99.14, Nvidia down 165, and American Airlines is up a quarter, and that's where we are now at this point. A manager, need that adrenaline, so I had shorted SoFi last week, covered, then made money, then bought long. In 10 minutes, sold some money, then shorted, waited, covered, made $1,800. We'll do the same tomorrow, staying on the sideline for now. Managers just can't stand to sit there with his hands in his pockets. He can't do it. Robert, does anyone have any input on ADTH? Don't know who they are, what they do, what they're about. No idea. I can't say. Wish I knew, but I don't know who they are. Just bear with me one sec, folks. Just got to do that. I haven't done that. I'm a little behind doing that. Okay, we're members only on comments. Sorry, folks. For all of you out there who are members, thank you very much. And those of you who are lurkers, become members, please. Join us. Come on into the party, pals. There's lots of room at the Nakatomi Tower here. It's fun, sort of. Okay, thank you all. 93 on the thumbs up meter, 93 thumbs ups. Thank you guys. Appreciate this. Fabulous. And let's see. Interesting stuff over there. Okay, and there. Okay, get rid of that. Okay, thank you, everybody. There we go. Does anyone ever? Yeah, no idea, Robert, on that at all. Okay, 556 down dip on the Dow. Looks like low of the day or awful close to it. Yep, we're within 40 points of the low of the day right now, down 558. S&P down 60 and NASDAQ down 141. The Dow 1.7%, S&P down 1.5%, NASDAQ 1.2%. And oil down $3.05 a barrel at $77.41. That is the story at the moment. GameStop down 48 cents at 18.17 is reluctant to hit a new low. It did touch 18.13 today. That is now the new low that has been set. I guess that was a little while ago. It may have just scraped it, but we're at 18.17, 18.18 right now. And there you have it. We are down to 12 minutes, and the day will be done. The market is tanking, says manager. Well, there you have it. Powell has spoken, and they didn't like what he said. But he had to say what he had to say, and I've been believing him. He's not kidding. The thing that he doesn't talk about in great detail, that the street is ignoring, or the analysts are not talking much about, and the market doesn't seem to understand, is the quantitative tightening that's going on, where the Federal Reserve is buying back. Not buying back. The Federal Reserve is offloading some of the $10 trillion in bonds that they've acquired over the last number of years. They're offloading them. The other thing that's happening is the Treasury, the Fed, doesn't actually have to sell bonds to do quantitative tightening. all they have to do is do what I'm doing right here. Fold your arms. They fold their arms and they allow bonds that they have to mature. And the vast amount of bonds that the Federal Reserve is probably sitting on, the inventory of bonds that they bought, it's got to be massive. I bet you every month they have billions of dollars of bonds that mature, and they don't. They get paid for those bonds. They get paid out. They get their interest and the principal back, and they don't buy new bonds. They just take the money that comes in back to them, and they put that back into the money supply vault, and they cancel the issuance of that money. That money does not re-enter the bond market, and that is quantitative tightening. Because if, for example, if they have a bond that they bought from, I don't know, maybe a utility, PG&E or something like that, or the U.S. government or whatever, a bond matures for, say, I don't know, $100 million. They get paid $100 million plus the last interest payment to let that bond mature. And instead of turning around and buying another $100 million bond to replace that bond, they just don't spend that money. That money just doesn't get reallocated into the economy. And therefore, the bond market is sitting there going, oh, wow, we've got, the government so-and-so wants to raise $500 million in 2-year notes that just matured. They want to issue another $500 million in notes to replace the $500 million that they owed. And we, the bond sellers, we're supposed to raise this money for these guys, the investment banker. So the investment banker goes out to raise $500 million for this replacement. The first people they're going to go to are the folks holding the bond that's maturing. I noticed that you have a $100 million investment in this bond that was issued 2 years ago. Would you like to reinvest that $100 million back in again and collect interest for the next 2 years at this rate? Here's the rate now. When they go to the Fed goes, no thanks. We don't want to reinvest that money. We'll just take our $100 million and retire that money out of the market. The bond seller now has to find another buyer for that $100 million note. If the other 400 million of that 500 million are people just rolling it over, yeah, I'll just keep it in there. I'll take another 2-year hit on interest. I'll take the money for 2 more years on interest. But the 100 million is not being renewed. Now the bond trader has to find buyers for that. Now it might be one bond buyer. That could be California Teachers Pension Fund, buys the whole thing. Or it could be 10 teachers pension funds, firefighter pension funds, policeman pension funds, steel worker pension funds, electric worker pension funds. There's a zillion pension funds. Each of them, a whole bunch of them will take 10 million each. So the bond seller finds buyers for $10 million 10 times. Boom, 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 boom. And that's $100 million. The money is raised, the bond is reissued as a new 2-year note, and the government gets that money, and the feds took $100 million out of the bond market by not renewing that bonds for another 2 years. Every week, the Fed has bonds maturing that they don't roll over. They just let that money come in. They have $10 trillion of bonds out there, and they're good for up to 20, 30 years. So if you do the math and you figure if they have an equal allocation of 1-year money up to 30-year money that's maturing, if for 2 years they don't buy new bonds and only allow bonds to mature out, then 2/30 of their portfolio will have been cashed out. And you get to 3/30, the third year, that's 10% of all the money they've taken back. That's $1 trillion. They'll have taken $1 trillion out of the economy, out of the bond market, which is the economy. And that's how tightening works. And if they go 6 years, that's 20% of 10 trillion. That's $2 trillion out of the money supply. Slowly but surely, money gets harder to come by. There's less of it rolling around. The Treasury decides how much money goes into the system. It comes out of here, it can go in the system in other ways. And the other ways is where banks come to the Treasury to borrow money from the Federal Reserve, to issue loans. And the Federal Reserve will say, oh, yeah, we have money. You want to borrow money to lend money? Yeah, we can do that. But the cost of the money is now the new Fed fund rate that's gone up. And so banks are paying more than for them to lend it, they have to charge more. That's where you come in. You're paying more for any loan you make with these guys. That's why mortgages are going. Your economic lesson with Uncle Bruce. You're all welcome. So home skill, according to TDA, ATIP earnings date is 3/13 after the market close. DQ, ATIP Investor Relations hasn't published a date. Z, T, nice green banner, 23 months. Home skillet, DQ, strange. I wonder where TDA gets that date. Manager, it is good idea to go long on X now or wait. I have no idea. T, Mr. T, Z Estate, BC, thumbs ups. A manager, what would be the deficit by 2050? 100 gazillions, trillions, billions. There you are. And thank you, Mr. T, for being a member for 23 months. Hey, Brucey boy, hope you, Jen, and all the Bagel family are doing well. Just popping in to say, hey, how are you? And I'm number 96 on the thumbs up meter. Thank you, Mr. T. Beautiful job, and appreciate you letting us know and letting the world know how long you've been a loyal member of this channel. It is appreciated, and it's great that you're here today. Yes, it's always great that you're here today. Nicholas, any thoughts on CRKA? I don't know who that is. Don't know what they are. DQ Homeskill, I think some algo guesses. Fidelity says it's okay. It's today. Brian, manager, that sounds accurate. So much debt they need to come up with new numbers. And Mr. T, you betcha, buddy. There you go. Thank you very much. We are down to 4 minutes in our session today, guys, and then we're done for the day. TRKA. What is TRKA? Let me look at this symbol. Troika Media Group. Troika, 54-cent stock. I have no idea who they are. And then someone asked me for something else. What was that other one? What was the other one? ADTH. What's ADTH? I ask. Let's see. ADTH. That is AD Theorent Holding Company. Never heard of $1.63. No idea. Penny stocks. No idea. Okay. And Nick DeMaurier, what a great day for option writers. I can't wait for tomorrow where Powell says all the same stuff again to the other boys and then girls. Should be fun. 576 down dip now on this market. We've got, we got a low on here. 2-year Treasury yield bursts through 5% after Powell leaves door open for bigger rate hikes. That's good. He's waking them up. That's a good thing. The 10-year note is still only at 3.98. It won't break through 4, which is ridiculous. It should be higher. What can I say? The U.S. dollar, 105.5 on the euro. That's a 1.3 cent gain today for the American currency. The pound gained. The dollar gained 2 cents on the pound today. 118.2 on the pound. So it went from 120 to 118 today. Big move. That's a big move. Australian dollar lost to 2%, 1.3 cents today to 65.91. That's the story. I'm sticking to it. I am supposing, I'm going to guess that the Canadian dollar would have lost ground today too. Let's take a look at the Canadian dollar. The Canadian dollar is at, 137.5. It's definitely lost 1.5 cents today. The Canadian dollars were 72.71. So any of you who are sending me U.S. dollars, I thank you very much. You are making me richer just sending me American dollars on donations. I thank you. How about them apples? 1 American dollar is worth 1,000 Canadian dollars. This is great. Thank you, everybody. There you go. Home skillet manager, and what would be the monthly payment on that debt? Jeff, as a short squeeze play, pay no mind. DQ, I hope tomorrow Powell says I've decided 75 basis points. Nick, except tomorrow he talks to the loonies. Well, there you go. Sneaking a last minute to ring in the bells at 1:03. Thank you, Larry. We're almost there. Larry, early bird Titus says DQ. We're a minute away from the close of our session. 575 down dip on the Dow, 1810 on GameStop. We might be at the low of the session on GameStop. We might just be at the low of the day today, right now on GameStop. 1810. Yeah, it looks like that's the low price of the day. What we touched, 563 right now, and the bells are being rung right now. There's Larry making it happen. Thank you, my friend. And let's see what's going on. I got a huge short position on X. I will buy some now to give the long teaser. Interesting. Thank you, Larry. Everyone's saying, Brian, GameStop wanting 2 million and change, 515,000 pre-split. That's going to be one of the lowest of all, last year or 2 or 3. George, member 2 days. Thank you, George, for being a member for 2 days. The Big E is here. Neat. Maria, neat. Zeta State, McDonald's in Canada will be releasing a chicken Big Mac. Wow. You know why? It's not necessarily because we want it. It's because chicken is cheaper than beef, and it's a money move. If they can get more people to buy chicken Big Macs than regular Big Macs, they make more money because the sandwich, I'm sure, will be the same price. I'm certain of it. They're going to go for you probably noticed a lot more chicken on menus of fast food restaurants, way more chicken offerings because of how cheap it is compared to beef and pork. That's what's going on. It's a money deal. Brian, neat. JR, neat. TJ, neat. Brian, Zeta State, not gonna lie, I am intrigued. JR, bye all. Hope you all had a great day today. DQ, Zeta State, isn't that the Chick Mac? The Chick Mac. Nick, pork, chicken, whatever. There you go. 574 down dip on the Dow today. Wow, what a hit. It's not like the end of the world, but it was a down day. 62-point drop on S&P, 147 on NASDAQ. That's what we got here. GameStop 1807 I see on my one device here. Aftermarket right now 1803 is what I'm seeing on GameStop right now. 2.19 million shares traded. So it definitely tailed off at the end of the day. SoFi 651 down 17. Tesla 187.71 down $6. Giving up a little bounce we had the other day. Apple down 223. Unity down 92. HPQ is off 64 cents. ATIP at 32.4 down 1.4. Google 140 dump off at 94.17. Moderna down 298. Cisco down 51. Pfizer down 76. IBM down 194. Microsoft dropped 272. 23andMe was down by 4 cents. Matterport lower by 6. Sextera 4 cents, Rocket Lab 3 cents, Smart Rent down 23, and Spire down 2.9 pennies today on the downside. There it is. What can I say? Zeta State, neat. John Anderson, neat. DQ, Brian, that's a wreck rib with secret sauce. Brian, I think it all tastes like McRubber to me. There you go. All right, everybody. Thank you all for hitting the knee emojis and being with us today. It's great to have you here. And thank you for those of you who are renewing your thumbs ups and staying members for all of this time. Approaching 2 years now for membership. It's fantastic. Thank you all. Thank you for the knee emojis. Thank you for the donations out there, especially Alberto today for helping out. That gets Jen and I for a dinner for sure. Bobby Hubby, member for 20 months, chilling with Uncle Bruce. Thank you, my friend. Bobby, love you. That's awesome, man. 20 months. That is something. Hopefully, we've helped you figure out how to make money in those 20 months. And that's why you're still here. I suspect that's the reason. Neat. I say to all of you out there, have yourselves a great evening. Get yourselves a bit of rest. I'm going to try to get some rest later today. And let's see if we can do all this again tomorrow and get richer. Take the dough and run with it. And then let's, figure it out. Tomorrow night, 8 o'clock Eastern. Don't forget, if you're a Gold Bagel member, Prime Time with Uncle Bruce. Join me, Prime Time with Uncle Bruce, Wednesday night, 8 o'clock. Look forward to seeing you at Prime Time tomorrow. We'll do that too. So I only have to do 4 shows tomorrow. How about that? Only 4 presentations I have to do tomorrow. Easy peasy day. Piece of cake. Thank you guys so much for all your support and being part of this fantastic and incredible YouTube family. It's great to have you. Beach Boy, thank you for that video you sent me. I got it. I was laughing at it. All right, everybody. Everybody, take care. Enjoy the rest of your day. Uncle Bruce, you're quick with your knees, you know. Hector, neat. There they are. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Have a great one, and goodbye from Palm Desert, California.